I think I live in kind of a surreal existence right now. It's been going on for a while. I think once you see the simulation, you kind of step outside of it. Or maybe when you step outside of it, you see the simulation. It's hard to believe what we're in once you see it, though. At first it's hard to believe, but then when you really think about it for a couple of years, you think, oh, this is normal. This is the way it has to be. Because anyway, I live in a surreal experience, really. And the less drama you have in your life, the more you're able to see it. So I was thinking, man, I need some help with that. I don't know if it was this morning or last night. I was thinking, I need some help with that rental. And then somebody today offered to help. And then somebody today was talking about their calcium was low. I said, take a Rolaids every day. It's got 500 milligrams of calcium. Then I went over here. That was this morning. Then I went over here, and some lady was saying, I paid $6 for, it was like a roll of Rolaids or Tums. She said, you know how much because the girl borrowed it from her. She said, you know how much I paid for that? She said, $6. I thought, $6, that's crazy. Go to Walmart and get a bunch of them. So every conversation, every thought is reflecting back. The outside is reflecting. So what's happening here? Because I see past the simulation. I see past I don't see time as linear. I see time as in the now. I look at time. I mean, everything's in series. Look at these trucks. I mean, everything's in series. There's really no time. The only way to explain time would be to explain it like this. So here's a stoplight, right? So by making a right turn, I have a little bit of a distance, and it's really not distance because space and time don't exist. It's like a holographic appearance. So there's a little bit of distance from that light to this light. To shift your mind to it is very hard because even if you see it, it's hard to not go back to that way of thinking because you've been brainwashed from a child. Think of it this way. So right behind here, you can't see my finger, but it's there. So if you just shift your perspective, it's all about perspective. It's still there. You just can't see it. It's perspective. So that's why this is like. So you think, well, I'm looking for something, and then all of a sudden it appears in the foreground. Right now it's in the background. This is in the foreground. It's here. Everything is here. This is the best way to explain time and space. Everything in front of you, even though you don't see it, it's there. Everything you need, everything that's ever been is right in front of you. Those poles represent a post. Post is P-O-S-T. P is the seed, O is the womb, S-T is the snake on the cross. God is integrating you back in, birthing in spiritual babies. And notice the stop, S-T-O-P, is the same word. And it's a red sign. So the signs are everywhere. And these appearances in Revelation talks about the sons of God appeared before God. And even the devil came and appeared before God. So God summons, you have to appear. Because that's your creator. That's your master. Slaves to Jesus is freedom, but slaves to the devil is drudgery and slavery. So let me say it this way. So when the sons of God appear before God, and Satan also, he says, what have you been doing? He said, I've been going to and fro in the earth. God already knew what he was doing, but he asked him, I've been going to and fro in the earth. To and fro, to and fro, to and fro, to and fro, to and fro. What's he doing? He's seeing who he can tempt and test, and he thinks he's righteous. This is why the unsaved, they don't think they're sinners. They say the same thing the devil says. They say, well, God made me this way. If God made me, then he made me this way. Why do I need to get saved? Why do I need to admit sin? That's what they're thinking. If God made me this way, well, see, God didn't make Adam and Eve that way. They chose to fall into sin. In Adam, all die. God didn't make mankind that way, but they chose to be in that state. It's a choice. So they appeared before God. God summons. The judge will summon you to the court. The judge already knows where you're at in the city. If he wants to find you, he can find you. So they send a summons to your house, and you have to appear before the judge. Jury duty or whatever. So they summons you, you appear before the judge. But you're already in the background. You're in that city just going about your business. Then the judge summons you, then there you are. He just spoke it, wrote the order, the law, the summons, and then you have to appear. But you're already somewhere in the city. It's just a matter of, enough cycles before you appear. So that's the way it is with anything else. Whatever you need is out there. It's just a matter of the cycles. It's like planting the seed time and harvest. It's already out there. So when you put a watermelon seed in the ground, the watermelon's already there inside the seed. And so your thoughts are the same way. The thought goes out, there's the seed, it's already happened. If it's in your mind, it's already happened. You just have to go through the tribulation, the birthing process, to birth in whatever you need to do. That's why when you try to do something that you don't normally do, the birthing process can be painful because you're changing patterns. So you're used to following this pattern, and you put the seed out and say, I'm going to change patterns in your thoughts. And then you go to change patterns, but something keeps trying to pull you back because you're setting new patterns. And the hologram, you've already made a copy in the hologram, and the hologram doesn't know what to do when you set a new pattern. It's kind of confused. It blows its mind. And this is why when you're dealing with a narcissist and you change your patterns, it makes them mad. I was married to one of these. I changed my patterns just to see how she went crazy. She says, why'd you change? Why did you go different? I knew what I was dealing with. I didn't know the terminology for narcissism, but I knew she was doing some crazy stuff. And when I was changing the pattern, it drove her crazy. When you change your pattern, it drives the devil crazy. And so they do everything they can so you can leave the script. Jesus withdrew himself from there. They were planning on killing him, right? So you can change the script. They can't. They follow. They have to. They're like robots. When you change your script, it kind of confuses them. They don't know what to think. But it starts in the mind, and then it starts to reflect in the natural.